You wake up with plans, real plans this time. You tell yourself that today will be different. Today, you'll finally start working on that goal you've been postponing for months. Maybe it's improving your health, building a skill, starting a project, or simply fixing your daily routine. The motivation feels real in the morning. You imagine a better version of yourself, more confident, more disciplined, more in control. But then something happens. You sit down to begin, and suddenly your mind gets louder than your ambition. Thoughts begin to pile up. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm not actually good enough? What if people notice that I have no idea what I'm doing? And just like that, before you even take the first step, your brain drags you into a future that hasn't happened yet. A future filled with mistakes, judgment, and disappointment. Overthinking doesn't scream, it whispers. It sounds logical, responsible even. It convinces you that you need more time, more research, more preparation. It tells you that starting now would be risky, that waiting would be smarter, that planning a little longer will somehow make you safer. And without realizing it, you begin to mistake hesitation for intelligence. You tell yourself you're just being careful, when in reality, you're being controlled by fear dressed up as logic. Because overthinking is not problem solving. It's fear trying to protect you from discomfort by keeping you stuck exactly where you are. You scroll through your phone, watching other people move forward with their lives, starting businesses, going to the gym, learning new skills, taking risks, and you quietly wonder how they do it, how they manage to take action without knowing the outcome, what they have that you don't. But what you don't see are their doubts, their uncertainty, their imperfect first attempts. The only real difference is that they acted despite the noise in their head, while you waited for silence before making a move, and the silence never came. Meanwhile, days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Ideas that once excited you slowly become reminders of what you haven't done. Goals begin to feel heavy instead of inspiring, and regret starts to grow quietly in the background. Not because you failed, but because you never started. And deep down, that hurts more than any mistake ever could. Because the truth is, overthinking gives you the illusion of progress without any real movement. It feels like you're doing something because you're analyzing every possibility, but in reality, you're just running in circles inside your own mind. You're mentally exhausted without having taken a single real step forward. And the longer you stay in this cycle, the more comfortable it becomes, until one day, staying stuck starts to feel normal. And that's the most dangerous part, when inaction begins to feel safe.
The real damage of overthinking doesn't happen in one day. It happens slowly, quietly, in ways you barely notice at first. Every time you delay starting because you want the perfect moment, you train your brain to avoid discomfort. Every time you cancel an idea because it might not work out, you teach yourself that safety is more important than growth. And over time, this becomes your default setting. You stop trying new things, you stop speaking up, you stop taking risks. Not because you don't want success, but because you become addicted to certainty before action. You begin to believe that confident people are just born that way, that successful people simply have less fear. But that's not true. The difference is they don't wait to feel ready. They move while they're still unsure. They act while their hands are shaking. They take steps forward even when their mind is screaming at them to stay where it's comfortable. Because action creates clarity, not the other way around. Most people think they need confidence to act, but in reality, action is what builds confidence. Overthinking flips this process upside down. It makes you believe you must understand everything before you begin, that you need a flawless plan, that you must eliminate all chances of failure. But life doesn't work that way. No one has it all figured out at the start. Every expert was once a beginner who had no idea what they were doing. Every successful journey began with uncertainty. But overthinking robs you of that beginning. It traps you in preparation mode forever. And while you're stuck analyzing, life keeps moving. Opportunities don't wait until you feel ready. Time doesn't pause until you become confident. The world rewards movement, not perfection. And the harsh truth is, the cost of waiting is always higher than the cost of trying and failing. Because failure teaches you something, but hesitation teaches you nothing. You might think you're protecting yourself from embarrassment, rejection, or mistakes, but what you're really doing is protecting yourself from growth, from change, from becoming someone better than who you are right now. And every day you choose comfort over courage, you slowly build a life that feels smaller than what you once imagined for yourself. That's how dreams quietly die, not through failure, but through endless hesitation.
There comes a moment, maybe late at night, maybe in complete silence, when you realize you're exhausted, not from working too hard, but from thinking too much and doing too little. You're tired of planning without starting, tired of imagining without becoming, tired of telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," only to watch another tomorrow disappear exactly like yesterday did. And in that quiet moment, something becomes painfully clear. Overthinking hasn't protected you. It has imprisoned you. It has kept you in the same routines, the same excuses, the same comfort zones that feel safe but slowly suffocate your potential. You begin to understand that clarity was never supposed to come before action. It was supposed to come from it. That confidence was never going to arrive as a feeling. It was meant to be built through repetition, through showing up when it's uncomfortable, through trying when it's uncertain, through failing and continuing anyway. And once you accept this, everything starts to change. You stop asking, "What if it goes wrong?" and start asking, "What if I stay the same?" You stop waiting for permission from people who are just as unsure as you are. You stop measuring your worth by opinions that don't build your future. Instead, you begin to measure progress by effort, by consistency, by the small promises you make to yourself and finally keep. You take action before you feel ready. You speak even when your voice shakes. You begin even when your plan isn't perfect. And slowly, the fear that once felt overwhelming starts losing its power. Not because it disappears, but because you've proven to yourself that you can move forward with it still present. That courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Days will still be hard, doubts will still appear, but now you don't negotiate with them. You observe them, acknowledge them, and continue anyway. Because you finally understand that progress belongs to those who move, not those who wait to feel ready. 1 year from now, your life will reflect the decisions you make today, not the thoughts you entertained, not the plans you saved, but the actions you took, especially the uncomfortable ones. So if this message reached you at the right time, don't let it become just another idea you agree with and forget tomorrow. Let it become a decision, a line in the sand, a promise that you will no longer let overthinking control the direction of your life. Comment START below, not for me, but for yourself. And if you're ready to turn hesitation into action, fear into progress, and potential into reality, make sure you like this video and subscribe to stay on this journey. Because your future isn't built by perfect thoughts, it's built by imperfect action, taken consistently.